asked you this before about them playing their best brand of basketball heading into the tournament, and the Texas game kind of showed that. How big is that?
It's kind of part of the plan going in. I think throughout the course of the year, I may have said this the other day, you can be many things. We obviously showed early that we're capable of having success, and then we had some moments in the middle of the year where we weren't as good. But credit to these kids for not giving in to the outside noise, continuing to believe the messaging that was being delivered inside the building, and all the credit goes to them for finding a way to find success again here late and feel good going into the conference tournament that we're a team that can continue to win.
What would you say impressed you most about how your team played against Texas?
Our defense, really. We made shots certainly, but I told Lindy this after the game. It's the best he's been defensively in my time here, including his freshman year when I was an assistant. So when you got seniors who are leading the way in the areas that matter most, it gives you a chance. Obviously, Ice was pretty good in terms of the overall body of work. It never hurts for Thomas not to miss a shot.
You mentioned before you guys went down that Texas was probably the hottest team in the country. So how important was it for you guys to keep your first half momentum going into the second half?
It was really, really important. The last games of the year are always a little tricky. You don't know what teams' minds are. Obviously, Texas was a team that is still working on finishing strong. I think they're an NCAA tournament team. And obviously, yesterday was kind of a setback, but I'm glad that our guys responded from the way we played on Wednesday. We didn't play particularly well. And for us to respond with not the normal preparation time that we've had recently was pretty impressive.
How special was yesterday for your seniors?
That was awesome. I never thought about them not winning in Austin until we kind of got towards the end. Somebody asked me about it in the press conference, and those guys were aware, and it was something that was an additional motivating factor for them. And obviously, they all contributed at a high level. So I'm happy that the end of this story is being written in a way that they're going to feel good about when it's over.
You mentioned in postgame that momentum can be kind of fleeting. How do you carry that over? When Texas had all the momentum, and you did too, and then now how do you carry that over into the tournament?
You got to practice well.
Mm-hmm.
Everything goes to mindset and preparation, and we prepared really well. Thursday was probably the first time that I've had two opportunities to prepare for a team that we didn't take it. It was a physical game Wednesday, and felt like some of especially our older guys, needed a little bit of physical break from practice. We practiced, but we only went probably about 40 minutes. And I told them we could only do that if they would understand why, and that they would still be mentally engaged, and that we would be able to come in Friday and with one day of preparation get it done. So they prepared well Friday, and we had a good shoot around yesterday. And so that's why I felt like we would be able to play well. And if we don't do that for the next 2 days, then we won't probably play well on Wednesday. And so everything goes to process, man. It's do you do your job every day to the best of your ability and put yourself in position to help your team.
Considering that you played Iowa State a couple weeks ago, does the game plan change that much?
There's always some tactical things you got to be mindful of. They beat us up there. We've made some adjustments here. They got a really good coach who's been to a Sweet 16 or 2 already. And I'm sure he'll make some adjustments, and we'll have to be ready to counter that somehow. There'll be some maybe small differences, but the teams won't change from an identity standpoint at this time of year.
We've talked about confidence a lot throughout the season. Do you think you guys have the confidence to go up there and make a run at this?
Yeah, I don't think they're in the place we were in the middle of January. At the same time, it's all about how we prepare. And I think they're in the mindset of preparing well. And what we're going to focus on is trying to win Wednesday. If we can't make a run, if we don't get out of that one. So.
The team was able to win 6 of their last 8 conference games. What do you attribute to the season-ending success of the team?
Again, I think part of it goes to how we dealt with the struggles. I think your moments of trials really kind of define what you are able to become from that. And certainly when this team was 0-8, right, there's a lot of talk about whether we would be the worst team ever in the history of the Big 12 and not win any games. Those kids didn't buy into that, and they believed that they could still have success. They kept working hard. I said it. Even when we were losing games, they're showing up with good attitudes and practicing hard. It's on me and our staff to make sure we're giving them the same in return, everything we have. And the combination has worked out well over the last month or so.
Iowa State got a little banged up yesterday. Does that kind of put some questions in the air how healthy they'll be going in the game?
No, I honestly didn't know that until you
Yeah.
just said it. I really don't even know what you're talking about, to be honest. But it's not really a concern of mine. Much more focus and concern about us not being banged up. Guys are showing up for treatments that need them, and that when we show up tomorrow for practice, that we have all the bodies we need, and we'll put a game plan together to face their best, and then we'll make an adjustment after that.
That blockout that Yor had on Hepa in the second half, is that the physical style of play that you're expecting from him, maybe besides getting a flagrant?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure it was a flagrant. I get it, right? Right now, if anybody gets hit close to the head, they're going to look at it, and it makes sense. They want to protect the kids. But yeah, to answer your question, we need that type of physical presence inside from Yor. He's just going to block out a guy. That's what he's supposed to do. So fouls are called sometimes, and sometimes referees adjudicate it differently. But yeah, we need him to continue to be a physical presence for us and be a rim protector and be able to finish when his opportunities are there.
What do you tell him after he blocks out like that and gets called for a flagrant? I mean,
do it again. I mean, obviously, I don't want to hit him. We never preach playing dirty. I don't want to elbow anybody. But he did what we practiced. I mean, the shot went up. He went and found the offensive player going to the glass and tried to put his body on him. Now, it may have been a little excessive, and so hey, be careful of your arms and all that stuff. But yeah, we need him being aggressive down there.
We talked about Thomas's naysayers some with his career winding down. How special was it to see him do what he did?
Thomas is me. I mean, we're all in this thing doing this together, and there are naysayers out there for all of us. And I think that's part of the reason that we've been able to work well together, is because we have the same mentality that the work is the only thing that matters. Do you work hard enough to achieve the type of things you feel like you can? And that other stuff comes and goes, and you just let it roll off your back.
We've talked about it a lot. Lots of ups and downs with this senior class, but they're only one of 3 senior classes that have won at every Big 12 or conference venue. How should this senior class be remembered?
I don't know yet. I mean, I think there's a lot more to this story out there. So I don't want to write the ending quite yet. I want to let these guys continue to orchestrate what they're doing in the process. I do want them to remember for who they are as people and what they've stood for our program. But as far as their basketball legacy and how that moves on, I think we got a couple more weeks yet to decide that.
Have you talked to him about the tournament chances, for any kind of tournament chances?
No, we let me see. We met with our team before senior day, the week of senior day, and just talked about finishing strong, whatever that looks like, and just for our young guys, understanding that one day they'll be seniors, and I want them to play in a way that they don't understand this, right? That they would want people to play for them 3 years from now, or whatever it is for them. Other than that, it's just game by game. Do your job every day, show up, have a good attitude, practice hard, and when the games come up, try to execute the game plan.
What do you think you'll say to your seniors when the season is finally over? No matter if you guys go to NCAA NIT or lose in the first round Big 12 tournament.
I don't know if that's the type of thing you can script, really, to be honest. When it's real, it's real. And you kind of go with your gut. So I don't want to think about that now, to be honest. But when the time comes, well, I'm sure we'll find a way to embrace each other the right way.
So what's been your experiences with the Big 12 tournament the past few years, and how do you kind of prepare some of the younger guys for that environment?
My experience with it?
Just like what you thought of, like the atmosphere and.
It's good. I mean, I've been in several leagues now. I think Big 12 does as good a job, and because it's centrally located, a lot of different fan bases are able to get there pretty easily. We're going to face the team that travels probably the best to it, right? It's going to be it's like call it AIM South or something like that, right? So we just got to go in there and we can't worry about the venue or what's at stake or anything like that, as much as, do we want to extend this thing? Do those seniors want to put the jersey on one more time? And if they do, they'll play in a way that'll represent that. The young guys, it's all learning experience. But they played enough games now, and they're familiar with the opponents, just a different venue.
You have conversations with them. Obviously, there's a lot riding on a conference tournament, the nerves, but the atmosphere of going out and having fun doing it. Do you have those conversations with them?
Not necessarily on an individual basis. Those are the type of things you gotta kind of let your guys who own the locker room. I don't own the locker room. Those vets do, and it's their job to help the young guys understand. Yeah, there's a lot at stake, right? There's probably more attention on college basketball in the next month than at any other time, but all that matters is how we prepare. And yeah, you want to enjoy it. I mean, you've already seen it, right? It's 1 week in March, and there's been some wild things already happen, and I expect this is just the beginning.
What do you make of the way the Big 12 ended last night? I think you guys were 2 spots out of third. OU won, Baylor lost. What do you make of all that?
It's what it is pretty much every year, other than what Kansas does somehow, right? They're the only team that can go 9-0 on the road multiple years and find a way to get back to the top of the league. So credit to them, man. It's an unbelievable run. I'm not sure we'll see it again once their run is over, whenever it is. I hope it's soon. But it's pretty impressive. Other than that, I mean, I think it's pretty standard. Guys battle it out. It's hard to win on the road. Most teams maybe find 1 or 2 wins on the road. And that's where, like I said, Kansas's deal is so special. I mean, I think they've been undefeated on the road and league play like 6 times. I mean, it's unheard of. But Baylor's good, and I expect when we show up to Kansas City, it'll be pretty entertaining basketball.
Coach K kind of mentioned it, but I prepare the guys for what could be a pretty heavy Iowa State crowd Wednesday night.
I mean, it won't be quite. I don't think anyway. I don't think they're gonna have 13,000 people show up. There were 13,000 people there when we played the names, so we've got a little bit of a taste of it, and it's just about preparing, man. We can't really worry about those things. The team that executes their game plan. We obviously play different styles of basketball, particularly as it relates to the defensive end. And if we can impose our style on them more than they can on us, then I feel good about how we'll be able to play. Now, again, if we come out tomorrow morning and don't practice well, then I'm going to be honest with the guys and tell them not to pack 5 days of clothes. And just, let's just go up there and enjoy some barbecue and come on home after. But if we prepare well, I'll tell them, hey, make sure you pack some extra undies and got enough toothpaste to get through the week.
Where's your favorite barbecue place there?
Ooh. I'm not like a barbecue connoisseur, right? But I do enjoy it. Jack Stack's obviously pretty popular. I like that. Q39 I think's fairly new. I don't have like the wide variety of places. My wife's more into that stuff than I am, so I just go wherever she lets me.